Tower. You
like
ready
to
to
be
get into
loud.
it?
I'm
Yeah.
ready to get into it, and I really like what the desk was talking about, kind of with 666 Legend, kind of in this position where not no longer the underdog, but really the favorite in this matchup. So look for them to come out and kind of assert their dominance a little bit because they had the two roughest games so far in their season, and they're fighting for that last playoff spot. Here it looks like they're going to be running what their bread and butter is. Goats against goats, so these huge 3-3 composition. It looks like Zenith of Optimism is going to switch to that as well. They're going to play to what 666 Legend wants. Usually they play more of this dive style, but here they're just going to try and match fire with fire.
Yep, right now both teams, two big forces cramming right into each other. Of course, going to be running these compositions that are super tanky and have high health pools, armor, and barrier. Yeah, both of these teams coming into this match have taken losses against two teams that are in the upper echelon of the group, right? So it still is somewhat hard coming into this to be able to figure out exactly who has the edge. With TSL, they might have the composure, they might have the experience needed, especially coming off Land Story, to have that edge over Zoo.
And I think here you see really how comfortable 666 Legend is at running this composition, while Zenith of Optimism maybe just not as much. You see there the use of the bubbles here from Nikon very, very well, getting a lot of charge as well. You see the discrepancy as well, already at a Graviton, where Zelta on the other side, only 65% to hit.
And there's the Graviton catching Zenith right at that choke point. There's nowhere for them to run. Perfectly placed textbook Graviton from the Night God himself. TSL, another very convincing team fight win.
And now it's going to be very hard for Zenith of Optimism to even come and recontest this point. 666 Legend, I assume they're going to just stay at this chokehold right here. Just put the pressure and don't give up space for Zenith of Optimism. Zenith of Optimism really have to wait for that Graviton from Zelta before they can even really engage or do anything. And here you have that transcendence from Yagami to negate any damage that would be coming through.
And of course, TSL, I mean, they're sitting on this Earth Shatter from DPS, so the second Zeus steps in, they're going to get hit by it. There it is. They all fall like dominoes, and Earth Shatter, and then charging right into the Zenyatta, putting him in the corner. Now you're going to be in timeout there, Omnic. You're going to write down another convincing win here for TSL.
And that's just the bread and butter for 666 Legend there. The stun shatter combo works every time, unfortunately. Ion there with the Transcendence a little bit too late, and then got charged away from the fight. Great presence of mind from DPS there. And now, with 70% left, 666 Legend have a very easy time really to hold this. That's a grab, a solo grab only onto Night God.
Oh, I see. I guess they were trying to catch that front line of TSL out of position, but then they go overextend. They're still caught in the ramen spot, and Umbra punishes with a 2.5k on that self-destruct, and Zoo again sent back to spawn with very little to show for it.
And really a little bit of an interesting grab there coming out. You tried to get onto the wall and try to get some people, but the rest of 666 Legend just wasn't there, so you only got Night God. Again, the Transcendence really well timed from Yagami, and it looks like it's just going to be a stall at this point.
Oh, no.
It's just the Hammond. He's going to go down, and that's going to be very difficult for Zenith of Optimism to even try and recontest.
Yeah, I mean, you lose your main tank essentially coming, or not even, like one of your alternate tanks coming into the fight. I mean, that's such a huge loss. Then immediately losing your Lucio right after. There was almost no way for Zoo to really take this fight long term after those two big losses, losing your Hammond and Lucio so early. And TSL taking the first phase of Lijiang Tower convincingly 100-0.
So talked about it before a little bit, why the interesting factor that
so they're going to go with the Widowmaker, who can put that long range, hit scan damage down, and then the long range projectile damage from the Zarya, and now they have more mobile tanks. So they have rotation potential here. The problem is that they got to hit their shots. If Zelta and Horse are not getting these kills, TSL essentially wins for free. There's so much health, you can't be wasting damage opportunities here, Kenobi. And TSL is going to take it slow and steady against Zoo as they push up onto the first point.
Slow and steady is right, and I like this rotation coming out from Zoo, using that white room to really negate any damage coming from Pharah, because Pharah really has a rough time getting those direct rockets in with no splash anymore. It's very hard for her to get any value, and they take that white room rotation and they're able to get back onto the point. Very nice and clean rotation coming out here from 666 Legend, and they're going to be rewarded with the point capture.
Yeah, man, this is looking as smooth as butter for TSL right here, picking up easy kills in the perimeter of the point itself, and Zoo really just kind of scattered right here. TSL picking up the point and getting staggered kills, so they're prolonging the time into the next fight as well.
Here I'd like to see maybe Widowmaker switched off a little bit. It's a pick that you really are just working on picks here. You're trying to get those one-shots and get that pick and go in. Unfortunately, though, with the nature of 3-3, it's going to be very hard through all of that shielding and all of that health that you're going to be having on the other side to really get one of those picks off. Maybe switch to something like a Brigade to give yourself some more sustain on the point. But here, Zelta very close towards that barrier barrage, and that could be what turns this fight.
Oh, and Zelta looking to swoosh into the window, but thinks differently and, you know, wait it out, but they have waited long enough, and now the attention of Umber has been caught. Umber knows that the Pharah is waiting in the window. Zelta looking for a way in, but DPS also blocking off the other entryway. There it is. The barrage goes down, immediately absorbed there by the Diva Umbra, and then completely caught out in the air by Night God. Zelta is completely shut down. No kills off that barrage. Now Night God's sitting on an ultimate they don't even have to use to win this fight. A clean, easy win for 666 yet again. Deja vu out here, Kenobi. And Zenith of Optimism now with about 35% to go here, somehow retake this point.
Another perfectly timed trance there from Yagami there, and it looks like Zenith of Optimism is going to be switching over to a more 3-3 composition. You're bringing out the Zarya, bringing out the Brigitte. I like this. The Widow wasn't really finding the value, and Zelta there, unfortunately, with this barrage, they knew it was coming. So I really like this switch in here, but it's going to take a lot because there is this Graviton here, and with 82%, this is last fight here for Zenith of Optimism.
Yeah, I mean, the second Zoo walks in, they're going to get hit by the grab again, but Runecheng is down, so they won't have a stun to work off of. And DPS will have an Earth Shadow. They're going to have to just use it without the Bree stun. But I mean, this point, I think that's very doable for TSL. That being said, the Monkey, the Winston right now, DP is going on, gets the kill on DPS. Night God still patiently waiting. Nice job waiting for the D-Mech, and then Nanhai goes down immediately. Nanhai goes down immediately for Zoo. And this is just overtime ticking away. 666 Legend, a huge player advantage on the point. It's just the Winston remaining here for Zoo. And now they have the Lucio jumping on Lazy. Gets in there, immediately melted. DPS gets the kill. And there it is, a 2-0 victory here on for TSL on Lijiang Tower.
And TSL, you take those any
China that the longer matches go on, they kind of can fall apart at the seams, and chaos definitely can exasperate that problem a little bit. We'll see how they fare on 666 Legends Nambani defense. I mean, this is a map we saw Bastion last time. We might see Bastion again here. We're seeing the Orisa defensive hold on the high ground with the McCree. Of course, we're in China, so we're going to see McCree a lot. Often DPS pick here, and somehow TSL's tanks are so strong. I mean, they have DPS talking in chat and playing in the game at the same time. The guy is literally a multitasking legend.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, they're all, and we're already seeing changes too. Zoo changing over to throw on the Hanzo and now our Pharah.
So I actually really like this change from Zenith of Optimism here. They're going to be switching to a more shield breaky composition. You have that Hanzo and you have that Pharah as well. A lot of shield break coming out from them with that Hanzo Storm Arrow and just the direct rockets you have from Pharah. So it's going to be really on the Ryongcheng here as this hyper carry. That's a massive boot there from Zelta to get them off the high ground. But it's really going to be on Ryongcheng here to try and beat that hyper carry and get Zelta out of the sky.
That's the thing, though, is that even though that boot got them off, I mean, they can just put the Orisa shield right at that corner and peek. So really, the TSL actually wasn't put in a horrible position, and now you're seeing it's paid off a little bit. Zoo doesn't have any good sight lines to take care of anyone behind the Orisa shield or anyone hiding like where this McCree is, Runecheng, along with the Zenyatta. Great shots, helping D-Mech non-hide here, and Zoo is just unable to follow up on that boot. They're losing bodies left and right, and they're losing time, too. They've already lost 1 minute and 30 seconds without a single tick on the point. So 666 Legend right now in full control.
While they did get that boot, you're right, they didn't really capitalize on it. They let them reset and kind of get back into their groove for 666 Legend from Zenith of Optimism, but they are having some ultimates close to their name. They have this Dragon Strife, which can create a lot of space and maybe zone out 666 Legend a little bit, but 666 Legend coming out of some ultimates of their own, but definitely look out for this Hanzo.
Yep, and now 666 back upstairs, but you can see Zoo is on the other side of the corner, still waiting very patiently, but the problem with this patient play is that Zoo is not building up any ult charge. They still don't have an ult to work with here. They're finally getting Dragon Strike. They're going to just let it go and cut off this route that they knew 666 Legend was going to fall back on. It actually pays off. A great read there by the Hanzo there for a horse, and Zoo able to get some kills, and now it's a 5v4 situation for Zoo. TSL still not out of it just yet. They got to D-Mech this Diva, but Nanhai is nano boosted. A big sleep as Zelta was letting that barrage go. Now there's a self-destruct at the point, and Zelta out that sleep comboed into the self-destruct gets taken out. Zoo losing their advantage that they had off those 2 initial kills. Excuse me. And 666 Legend coming out, weathering the storm, and still holding on strong, but Zoo is able to get 1/3 of the point.
And I'd like to see MCC maybe just rein it back up a little bit. You are going up against a team composition really that you can just get blown up in, and you really want to have someone there with you because he's going in, getting blown up almost immediately with all the CC available to the enemy team. I'd like to see him rein it back a little bit and coordinate with the rest of his team, because going in and losing your main tank that early is very detrimental.
And there's the Winston dive in. MCC goes in immediately, has the Primal Rage, the pop there, but I mean, really just kind of building ult charge for TSL and using a Primal Rage, I guess, to get Zoo on the point, but there's barely anyone there. Ian does find the Orisa, but that's just one barrier that they can no longer hide behind. TSL still has some cover to take, and they still have Night God, but Night God is being pressured into a corner by themselves, but stays alive in a 1v2 situation, and that gives some time to distract Molohorse a little while longer. So Yagami, Umbra, and Sober get kills despite Molohorse going down. So TSL still in control of the point here, Kenobi, and with about 20 seconds on the clock, Zoo have no ultimates to work with this final fight.
And that was a little bit of an interesting decision for the entirety of the team, basically, to just go and chase that Brigade. To really not what you want to do. It's going to take a lot of time off, and you really didn't gain any value from it. And now for Triple Six Legend, you're right. They have one ultimate. Zenith of Optimism don't have any, but they're getting close to that Valkyrie. That might be what they need.
I mean, really, the second that Zenith of Optimism steps in too far, you know that High Noon's going to be used, but Runechang does get knocked off the high ground, so a lot of potential loss there. Takes a direct hit, 120 damage right there. Molohorse find DPS. Night God, though, swinging away here. Zenith of Optimism, their tanks can't get in because Night God just swinging away. Non-High gets DMAC to help Runechang, and then Umber taking out Non-High. There it is, the High Noon to pick off Lazy at the tail end of the fight. And just like that, another textbook fight from TSL, just eviscerating Zoo there, and they take a first complete point A hold here on Nabani.
The ideas from Zoo coming out are actually not, or else Triple Six Legend might just walk all over.
Yeah, I think they've already kind of wiped the floor with Zoo already. They're wiping their feet at the door, but still keeping their shoes on, so a little bit disrespectful there. I think Zoo right now just trying to look for ways to get some leverage, and they're picking two characters that give them a lot of leverage, potentially Doomfist and Sombra for sure. A lot of crowd control, but they got to keep the damage coming too. They have mobility, they have crowd control, but then they all make it come together in one full sweet package. We'll see. Already a 5v5 situation between both teams, but Umbra D-meching Non-High with the help of Night God there. The Non-High going down immediately. A big advantage now is Zenith of Optimism. They've lost two of their big crowd control characters. They've lost Doomfist and the Devo, can't shoulder check anymore. So TSL, I mean, can just walk right onto the point. You can see it happening right now. They just mosey on down onto the payload, and Zoo really can't stop them.
Yeah, I mean, this is quick and clean for Triple Six Legend here, punishing Non-High for being out of position, and now it's just a trickle fight. There is the backline. Doomfist coming in. The Minefield is going to try and zone them off. Non-High gets demeched again, and now it's just a matter of time rapture before Triple Six Legend just takes this point.
And Runechang beats Zelta in the EMP game, gets the EMP out. Zelta goes down to the self-destruct, can't even build theirs, and just like that, it's over before you know it.
Shielded by DPS on this Orisa, and Zenith of Optimism is going to have a bit of a hard time diving up onto this Bastion. They might look to maybe scout this out first and then switch back onto something more divey, bursty, because with this composition, you don't really have a lot of burst, and right now, Ryujing is just going to melt them here.
Oh, here's the meat grind. Yeah. Look at that. They just use the Orisa halt to keep everyone in place and pull them back out from the staircase, and then the Bastion just starts melting. Yeah, that's, well, right, I mean, that just speaks for itself there, Kenobi.
Yeah, I would like Zenith of Optimism now to switch onto something. They can keep the dive tanks, but I really want them to switch over to maybe a Genji, you know, have the ability, or some shield break for yourself, have the ability to get that Discord Orb onto the Bastion and then burst him, because right now Bastion is really what's hindering your comp here. The pull into the Bastion spam is just so difficult to get through, and on top of that, you have a Torbjorn on the other side with that turret, so basically everywhere you go right now, there's just spam coming at you.
Honestly, like, this is where TSL flourishes, right? Because normally TSL is very willing against stronger teams to go weird compositions to try and get them into the fight. And that actually ends up like shooting themselves in the foot because these weird compositions don't work. But against a team like Zoo, these compositions are great because Zoo can't figure out what the response is, and they're not strong enough individually to kind of just, you know, beat down these players and separate them on their own. TSL running this comp right now is pretty much exactly like, this is the environment that they love to have an opportunity to run comps like these. I think that's why they're so convincing already.
And now they're going to be running a different composition. They're switching over to more of a shield bursty composition. Again, bringing out the Pharah, bringing out the Hanzo, and you already see it's paying dividends because Ryujing has to reposition here, going very low. The shield is going to come back. It's going to get bursted down pretty quickly, though.
Yeah, wow. Zoo literally cannot break through this. There's just too much damage from this Bastion behind the barrier. They have the auto turret ready to go if they dive in. They have the Zenyatta with the Discord, a biotic grenade from the Ana from Sober. Zoo, I mean, Zoo can barely move at all and barely even peek against this composition, which is hard because, I mean, Pharah has to be able to peek. Hanzo has to be able to peek because our projectile. I mean, they got to be able to get some corners here, and there's no way for them to hold any sight lines.
You see how scared really Zoo is, and there goes the dive, actually, but he's going to get melted almost immediately. Actually ends up getting down, but still the damage was done. Lazy's going to go down to Night God, and this is just, it's looking pretty pretty dire here for Zenith of Optimism. They look so scared. You see how many abilities and cooldowns they're just wasting at the choke here. You saw there from MCC diving into the next cubby and then using his shield as well. You lose those cooldowns and have to wait another 30 seconds for that, or 13 seconds rather, for that shield to come back. So it's just a very difficult time right now for Zenith of Optimism to try and break through this wall. And speaking of walls, the ultimate wall for 666 Legend is 6 high.
Oh, and Runchang finds 2, gets both the Pharah and the Mercy. I wouldn't be surprised if that was using the Orisa Halt, because DPS have been throwing those Orisa Halts into the air looking for the Pharah, so I wouldn't be surprised that's how they got it. And DPS has been on point with those orbs so far. And
DPS is like the point guard right now. DPS is the point guard of this team. Just, you know, laying it up for our man Ryu Sheng here on this Bastion. It's like, don't worry, bro. I'll get these halts. Then you'll be able to just shoot through them, and it's going to be easy. We're going to get that huge double kill. Now for Zenith of Optimism, they're getting some ultimates. They have this Dragon Strike, probably going to go to the high ground here.
Oh, that was
just
misses.
Okay.
He missed the stationary targets, so 666 is just going to, you know, I guess chill on that. And there's a sleep onto Runchang. There's an opportunity for Zoo to go in, but they lose MCC. Now his self-destruct comes from above. Moyho is able to sneak in a double kill with the barrage, and the Night Guard finds Moyho on the other side there. Zoo gets some kills, unable to survive throughout it. And then, yeah, the Bastion was nanoed after they missed the Dragon Strike, so 666 Legend, again, another fight win.
And Zoo here going to bring out the fast composition here. Just get to the point, try and stall as best they can with the Doomfist Tracer and the Hammond there. It might not be enough here. The Primal is there, but it's going to be a very difficult fight here for Zenith of Optimism.
Oh, and Night God playing Splatoon out here. There's nowhere on the point you can go without taking damage thanks to that Torb ult. And not only that, but MCC had burned Primal Rage just to touch the point, so they're not going to be able to survive against a self-destruct. Yep, they go down. Runchang using tank mode to take out Lazy. And 666, I mean, the double turret strategy out here, it's China time. And overtime ticking away as 666 just throttling Zoo for a point A hold yet again.
Do we consider this mean a little bit, Rapture? Like, is this are we getting to the point where it's a little bit mean? This is tad bit that the 666 Legend is doing this.
Face off against a composition like this.
You're in comp and you full hold someone, and then you say, and then you're like, you tell your teams like, hey, they're really upset. They're gonna try and cheese us with what we just ran. Let's run the counter. And it seems like here, 666 Legend, they're gonna get the scout out, so they know now what they're up against. Maybe go back and switch themselves, or they're just gonna try and maybe get back to the point. Maybe get this hack onto the Bastion. Look for the coordinated dive to come in.
Yep, they're going to use the Hammond to pile drive alongside the Winston. The Bastion goes up perfectly. Oh, but Zelta and MCC picking up 2 with the turret and the Orisa kill. And TSL's only able to get down Zelta's turret. So, I mean, that looked pretty promising once they got Moorhorse into the air. I mean, he got some air there, Kenobi. He got some air, but it wasn't enough for TSL to win the fight.
Yeah, how many points do you think that was in Tony Hawk Pro Skater, that air time that he got?
And that was like he could have fit in like a couple kick flips for sure.
Yeah, I think so. But again, for 666 Legend, I like what they did there. They were waiting for the Sombra. Sombra just didn't get the hack. You see it again. Ryu Cheng here is going to be trying to hack the Bastion. You see the Bastion trying to scout out for him, and the dive's going to come in right after.
Yep,
and
try
the
again.
It's perfect.
And there it is. It works that time. If you don't succeed, try again. And 666 only needed one more time, one more attempt to make it work. They get the Bastion to the air off that hack, melt them completely, and now there's no spam damage really to stop TSL from walking in. You can see now Moorhorse is moving over to the Tracer here. Instead of staying on the Bastion, they want to try and recontest as soon as possible. But will the Tracer have enough damage to fight off against TSL? A big amount of kills come off from the tank line from Zoo. And that was huge, and once Runchang went down, there was no way to hack Zoo's tanks. And 666 Legend, they are caught out. They aren't able to get any portion of the point at all.
Ustio!
Oh no.
Ustio, dude. He's out here. Okay, well, and he's out.
I'm sorry.
Just like that. It's just like an August kiss, just out the window. And he's
yeah, albino rhino. You don't see him very often. You gotta make sure they don't run away. You catch a nice picture. There we go. Sober, picking off Zelta. An August kiss, or why August? EMP coming down from the somber Runchang, and it hits perfectly. Zoo getting caught up in the crossfire out here, and they've lost both their Tracer and Winston. No way to prolong the fight. TSL, they take the series with that third map win. They're up 3-0 in for MCC. So a slight change there in the tank line for Zoo for this fourth and final map. On the TSL side of things, this is a composition that we actually saw on Dorado or Route 66 for them last weekend, where they're running the double sniper Roadhog Orisa composition. This is TSL. Again, this is one of those compositions that TSL when they're losing might go to try and get themselves back into it, and it might not necessarily work. But against Zoo, when they're already in the lead, this could be it. This could be it, Chief. But in the meantime, Warhorse finding Night God and now playing very aggressively, going to move right up, right above that payload to cut off TSL at their knees. And so far, Zoo is actually in control. A nice sleep there, and then the hack onto the Roadhog, going to make it easy. That pork tenderloin's going to go down very smooth. And now TSL, I mean, for the first time, actually facing somewhat of a loss, but still, Zoo seemed like they're winning a fight, but they still actually can't win it.
Cloudy went really aggressive there, maybe too over aggressive, going basically into the spawn and costing him his life there. And this composition from 666 Legend is basically a pick composition. If you can get those picks like Rucheng gets onto Moo Horse there, you can really just, that's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to get those picks and then and continue to roll the point with your tanks on the payload.
Yeah, this is TSL. I mean, they're playing again in their comfort zone right here. These long sight lines that Dorado provides, along with his double sniper composition, and then hide everybody else behind the Orisa shields, paying off in dividends here for TSL. Hanzo picking up the... Wow, look at that. Rucheng demeching and killing Nanhai with one shot there. I mean, I guess the spread helps, but still, Night God and finding Zelta there. TSL is just steamrolling Zoo right now.
Yeah, and for TSL, they've been doing a great job of getting the picks that they need. Sometimes with this double sniper composition, it's really just as easy as hitting those shots. I'd like to see a little bit more of Cloudy trying to use that defense matrix for those Hanzo airs specifically, because they've been getting through a lot. You don't really have a lot of damage mitigation with this composition because of the Hammond, instead of taking something like a Reinhardt or a Winston.
Oh, and there's the Dragon Strike, and then the Nano Boost onto Night God, and that completely bursts down Lazy as they're way too close for comfort. Only pick they're going to get, but I mean, honestly, everyone else for Zoo, they're either dead or running away in retreat. So, at that point, the Nano Boost certainly paying off there. And then the stagger kill onto Nanhai, and they're going to be able to get Cloudy as well. Both tanks staggered there for the Zoo of Optimism, or Zenith of Optimism. Two tanks, that is. I guess Zoo of Optimism at this point might be more fun to be hanging out in. The TSL,
they need to be optimistic. They need to be optimistic. I think that's something that they definitely should be trying to keep their hang their hat on, really. And Zenith of Optimism is going to be moving more over to a 3-3 composition here with that Winston. I like this. You have the ability to dive onto that backline if you want, because the double snipers here so far have just been doing unmitigated damage the entire time.
That is the weirdest self-destruct position I've ever seen on this map.
Got a kill.
Putting it right below that ledge, above the ground, and actually finds DPS. You're right. Sober also gets caught up by Nanhai, and then Night God, bashed back a little bit here, separated from the payload, has to fall back to the rest of the team, but takes too long to do so. They're going to be taken out by Nanhai, and then Cloudy going to be routing Yagami on their retreat path as well. Even again, Umbra not fast enough to get away from Cloudy and the rest of the tank line. So Zoo in control here. TSL, that being said, they not control the payload, but they still have a lot of time to work with.
And say whatever you want about Zenith of Optimism throughout this entire series, they make the switches that pay off in the end. They see that there was the double sniper on the other side. They switch over to something more divey with those tanks, bring out the Winston as well. And then the double sniper can't get as much value as it was before. But 666 Legend going to be doing the same, switching over to a 3-3 composition as well. So fight fire with fire. 666 Legend very comfortable in these 3-3 tank formations.
Oh, slept. DPS in Primal Rage, taking a nap there. Let's see if 666 can pick up the slack now that their Winston's down for a moment. Now rejoining the fight here. Nanhai on the Primal Rage of their own, but Night God just gets out of dodge. Lazy finding Rucheng, and now Zelta is separated from the rest of their team, so both teams should be able to... Oh, actually, Zoo is able to rejoin with their Zarya, so TSL unable to break them up. Zoo looking a bit more composed than we've actually seen them previously here.
She's at 3 health.
Yeah, and DPS literally surviving the skin of their teeth. Sober going down to Moyhorse. Night God separated from the rest of their squad, having a hard time building up charges. They can't hold the front line with anyone else to protect them. And Lazy will shield bash Night God for their troubles, and then finds Rucheng. This Brigitte is going off right now. And Zoo now reducing 666 Legend to below 2 minutes.
And we're seeing some life from Zenith of Optimism. We saw there how they, we talked about on the desk, how they like to play more dive compositions. Here's the Graviton just get DPS, but that's probably enough for them to stall a little bit longer. Zenith of Optimism finally playing to their strengths here. You'd love to see it even at this moment in time where they're down 3-0.
Yeah, exactly. This is, I mean, you can't, the only one that really stops you from winning at this point is yourself. Don't give up, even if it's the last map. Because maybe you want to be able to screw up TSL's map differential here, which, could pay off in the long run in that playoff run. Umbra with the downtown self-destruct on Zelta. and the DPS finding Lazy, making it a 64 situation here. And Zenith of Optimism completely cut off from their Zenyatta. You can see Night Guard just walling off Zenith of Optimism and Zenyatta there from the rest of the team. Oyhorse has very little room to work with. And Night God has the Graviton ready to go, but probably won't even have the burning here. Probably just waiting out for this Transcendence. Even if they do want to use it, there it is. Transcendence used, or burnt out. Graviton used. Keeps the brigade at the wall, gets the kills. Moya Hall also going down here, and 666 in control. But Zenith, they still have some bodies to the point here, Kenobi. They're delaying this capture as long as they possibly can.
And it looks like it is just going to be a matter of formality here. They are going to get this point, but they did, you're right, managed to milk a lot of time off that clock. 30 seconds is probably the hardest that 666 Legend has had to fight for a point this entire time, so good job on them. But now with 2 minutes, 666 Legend going to look to walk through this point. I like that they're going to take this aggressive stance here, taking away all this space. Look, they get the stagger onto Lazy, get the stagger onto Cloudy, and now they're just going to their spawn, playing super aggressive. I love to see this type of play, especially when running these heavy tank compositions with the ults that you can build up against this tanky composition of Zenith of Optimism. It's a really good thing.
Yeah, I mean, TSL has 1 minute and 30 seconds to walk in. They have 4 ultimates to work with, opposing Zoo's just 1 ultimate. That's really a problem for Zoo most of the time, is they're down an ult charge every step of the way. And there's the Graviton from Night Guard, scoops up to 666 Legend with the 5v3 advantage here. They're just going to walk all over Zenith of Optimism, as they had very little to work with. Non-high, again, burning Primal Rage, and very little opportunity to stay alive longer than that. TSL cleaning up the tank line, the rest of Zoo, and now they have a minute to walk into this checkpoint, and they're just gonna spawn camp Zoo, making it almost impossible for them to go onto the point directly, forcing a right side rotation. But that might actually be enough time. No, someone texted it just in time. It's gonna be the Hammond getting there non-high before the point got captured. 45 seconds now remaining for TSL. All these ultimates being burned here in a last-ditch effort to stay alive, and no kills coming out for Zoo. In fact, 666 Legends coming out on top despite all those ultimates burned. Now Zelda's about to get Graviton. This could be it. The Graviton comes down, but there's no one alive to get the actual follow-up there. And Night God picking up kills, gets rid of Cloudy, and then Zelda going down to Yagami. TSL wiping up Zoo and finishes the match.
Night God is putting the rest of Zoo in the microwave right now with this Zarya. So high charge, above 80 charge most of the time that we've been on his PO here to try and get some picks on that Widowmaker.
And here we go, Zoo. Let's see how far they can get. Can they get past the fountain, which has cursed so many teams here in Contenders China? Or will TSL convincingly take this set 4-0? We'll find out here on the next episode of Broadcast GG. Thank you all for tuning in with us. Remember, we still have a 3rd match after this one, so don't go anywhere. We have another one coming your way that'll feature Flag Gaming, which should be hype. TSL and Zenith of Optimism, though, this fight has transitioned pretty much towards this choke point area, as it always does, and TSL giving Zenith of Optimism a little room to work with here, just hiding, really much playing on their own terms, playing at their own pace, hiding behind the Orisa shield right at the high ground, letting Zenith move that payload up. I mean, sure, they have a little bit of cover, but TSL's in full control of the ground here. And Runchang, yeah, nice pick, gets the kill onto Lazy, and almost takes out the Omnic Ion as well. Zoo having trouble even, holding these sight lines here.
And I think here for Zenith of Optimism, they have this interesting triple DPS composition with the solo tank Winston. They're trying to do a lot of damage, but you see that the Tracer here hasn't really done much. Tries to duel with Yagami, and Yagami sends him back to spawn. Moonhorse is going to go down there, and it just looks like Cloudy is going to go down as well. Follow him. Maybe? There we go. There we go. Okay, got him. Just waited a little bit.
All right, there we go. Finally. Better late than never. Umbra and Night Guard getting on the board again. And pretty much every time they try, Zenith of Optimism tries to get some kind of sightline, they get picked like immediately from anyone hiding behind that Orisa shield. So I mean, so much time being taken up here by TSL.
And Rungcheng has been doing a really good job so far trying to deal with Zelta on that Pharah. Zelta hasn't really gotten the picks he needed. Is close to that barrage, but I definitely expect for Umbra to be there, ready to eat all of it when it comes.
And 2 minutes and change on the clock left here, Kenobi. Night God whiffs the hook and wishes they had it, but the barrage just gets completely nullified there by Umbra. And now there's a nano boost on Night God. Gets pinned, though, by the Reinhardt, but only about 200 HP. Ooh. Still a lot of room to work with. Night God easily picks up non-high on the other side of that pin. And once again, 666 Legend sending Zoo back to the drawing board.
And like I said, very obvious there that the barrage was going to come out. Umbra willing and ready. The Transcendence a little bit too late there for the side of Zoo, because you shouldn't really, in a world where you have Transcendence, be bursted down by a diva of all things while you're in barrage.
Yeah, you hate to see that kind of thing happen here. And now Night God letting the meat grinder go, but they were all distracted by Umber's self-destruct and pretty much couldn't even see that a whole meat grinder go. Got stunned and put to the ground, but Umber gets the 2 kills they need, helps snowball TSL to a fight win yet again. And now Zoo, their match lives are on the line here, Kenobi. They only have a minute and 12 seconds remaining to go.
And not any ultimates really just yet. I mean, the closest one they really have is the rally. For really ultimates that you're going to want to have, Cloudy is going to have to farm up this Graviton very, very quickly here, or else it's going to be disastrous for them. It's really what they need. That's their win condition currently, because they don't really have much else with this composition. And Cloudy dying that early is definitely not the way to go about that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when Cloudy and Nanhai both going down so early, there's no one to protect the support line. And look who goes down right after that, the support line of Zoo. Now 40 seconds left on the clock, and TSL is in full control. That's such an understatement here. Zoo, and once again, Zoo, no ultimates going into this next fight.
It's going to be very difficult for Zenith of Optimism to even come back onto this point and try and contest. It has to be a disastrous mistake here from 666 Legend for Zoo to even have a chance to take this past point A.
Yeah, oh, there we go. Hooked, line, and sinker. That D.Va goes down abruptly. And now there's a self-destruct, but it actually doesn't find Pater. Runcheng will get the kill into Nanhai. Now we're going to have a little bit of a, well, not a little bit, a full transcendence here coming off from the Zenyatta, but it's a bit late. Ian not there in time. Zelta and Moyahorse, though, do get some kills, but Runcheng has a lot of shots going unmitigated here. Moyahorse, though, they're putting their team on their back. This could be enough for Zoo to actually get to this checkpoint in time. Can Runcheng hold on by themselves and get these kills? 666 Legend, no! Runcheng has to fall back and retreat. Zoo is still alive.
The Hammond is here to try and just stall the best he can. Spin to win, they can't get to him. They do get to him finally, and it looks like our Zoo is able to take that first point A just with some good play from Moorhorse, really getting into that back line and doing a lot of damage on the Brigitte. Really, if you're a Zenyatta, the last thing you want to see is a Brigitte in your face. And then they were able to push that point. But here, and going into this next point, they can try and snowball. They have the ultimates. That's a solo grab onto that Widowmaker, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was a Graviton from below. Oh, Zelta went to 3 HP, still stays alive. All right, so Zeus seeing a little bit of momentum here. Literally the last possible moment, Zeus deciding to step up and, kind of put the screws to TSL and forcing Night God to now move over to the Doomfist.
There is some, he's going to switch over to the Doomfist, and there is some life that we're seeing from Zoo here. Definitely try and look out for this Shatter Self-Destruct combo. It's a deadly combo.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, there is, so you do have that ability to, that's kind of the basic D.Va spot on this map where you try to hit it over the wall. There, the calculation might just be that bad, and unfortunately, Night God's going to go down there.
There's so much, literally so much spaghetti happening in this match right now. There's tomato sauce all over the place. Another self-destruct goes down, doesn't find Pater. Now we got a Transcendence coming down. Rally as well from the Brigitte, Mui Horse. About a minute and change left on the clock here. No kills thanks to these support ultimates. So just going to wait them out, and now Zelta trying to take out the opposing D.Va before they can get back out, and still unable to do so. Umbra is actually pulling Zelta all the way from the rest of their team. I think Zelta's like, oh wait, I've been baited here, sir. Self-destruct goes out. It actually does catch Yagami. All right, Zoo still having their feet under their shoulders here, still able to hold on to the payload, and they're close within 3 meters. Graviton goes down there, and it will actually connect. Zoo's still alive off that Graviton. Umber gets put down, D-neck, and then shut down by Moyhorse. Zelta finds Sober. DPS trying to stay alive, but there's no one there to help him out or heal. And Zoo hits yet another checkpoint.
You never expect the self-destruct to come from straight behind you, but that's what happened. Zelta, it looked like a it looked like a self-destruct that just wasn't going to hit anything, but it does get Yagami, and once that Zenyatta is dead, you lose a lot of damage with that Discord, so good play there from Zelta to get that kill, and now running into this second point, or this third point rather, there is a possibility that Zenith of Optimism wins this with more time than 666 Legend, but 666 Legend here bringing out Night God on the Pharah, gonna do a lot of damage to this tank-heavy lineup that doesn't really have anything to deal with them besides the D.Va.
And Night God now, unmitigated damage from above. I mean, really, Zoo has to worry about the Hammond and the D.Va running wild on them. So, I mean, they really have very little time to shoot on this far, but now Night God is taking some damage, has to fall back momentarily, but now swooping right in to try and pick up some kills. Helps get rid of Zelta, forces the Zenyatta Ian to fall back, and then Amber picks up the kill. Zoo now has 1 minute remaining here, Kenobi, to finish off the map. But I mean, they've had some momentum. They've got some kind of speed, some fire under their bottoms. Can they finish off the map?
That stagger was so good from Triple Six Legend, and milking at least 30 seconds off the clock. And now, like I said before, they might have had a chance where they were going to end with more time than Triple Six Legend. They're going to have basically 1 fight or 2 left to even try and end at all. They really have to rely here on the shatter coming out from Nanhai here.
And Umbra has a self-destruct though that could just literally stop anything. Especially if Nanhai's focusing on an Earth Shatter, they wouldn't have a shield up in time. But the shield is there to stop the self-destruct. Good patience there from Nanhai. There goes the Earth Shatter though. Doesn't look like it got too many clean hits though. But Nanhai is able to pick up DPS. I believe that was the only character that really got hit. Finishes him off with a Fire Strike. Lazy gets rid of Yagami. Triple Six Legends still have ultimates to get right back into this though. I mean, they have a Rally and a Valkyrie. And if Zelda Zelda does get the kill. A great mid-air shot onto Night God. And Runchain goes down. Another sniper shot from Nanhai. 2 in a row in these fire strikes. Although Sober does pick up Night God. Night God might be able to get back into this. They don't have a barrage, and they still have Zelda in the air. Umbra finds Iron. Overtime taken away. Someone has to touch the payload. And TSL, they're able to get there just in time. But they're super low on players. Cloudy looking to melt this Diva, who's the one who was able to touch it. Umbra now goes down. They've lost their mech. The Mercy off as well. Right click's coming out. Oh, but they're stunned. They're actually frozen there by the Mei Runchain. But Runchain gets melted themselves against that heat coming out from Zoo.
Hey.
Zoo is able to finish off the map. You all thought it was over. It's not over until it is over. Kenobi, we're going to another attempt.
I said at the start of the game what I wanted to see was I wanted to see Zoo complete the map, and there they finally do it. They're going to have a minute. They actually have a chance with a minute against a minute and 23 seconds. There's not that lot of discrepancy between there, so you have basically probably 1 fight with those 23 seconds, so they can definitely try and bring this towards a win themselves, which would be something that I would have never expected going into this match.
Well, it's a zoo out here. It's a bunch of wild beasts. And
it is quite this game. If I had to define this game, it'd be a zoo. Probably that's a good way to put it. There's just so many things that I've seen that I just can't unsee.
I mean, here's the thing: is that TSL, they have a cage. Zoo has broken out of that cage. Let's see if TSL can rein him back in a little bit. Maybe it's feeding time. We'll see. I mean, Zoo right now, you know, animals are their strongest when their backs are against the corner, you know? So maybe Zoo, this is where they're like, oh, we're stepping it up because we have to. And TSL has been unable to match it. But TSL might be also giving it to him a little bit here, kind of giving them a little more room that they probably should be affording them. Either way, though, Zoo, we take those. Zoo will take that. They're only down, like you said, 23 seconds.
Yeah, we take, and it looks like Zoo here is actually going to be caught a little bit off guard by what Triple Six Legend is going to bring here. Triple Six Legend is going to take this fight early to try and milk as much pressure as they can, or as much time off the clock as they can. They don't see him just yet. Look for this pile driver to hit right onto the payload and onto the backline. Doesn't really hit that much, though.
I actually don't even know what he was looking for there, but 3 members of Zoo converge on him immediately. Still, DPS is able to get out, and we'll probably talk in chat before they rejoin the fight there. Night God gets put down by Zelda, and then Zelda moving on forward here, trying to look for some more ult charge. A really quick barrage would be exactly what Zoo needs to get to this checkpoint, because remember, they only have 30 seconds left of the clock to get to this checkpoint. And remember, it did take them quite a while to finally get it, almost 4 minutes to finish it off in the first attempt. So Triple Six still in control here, despite not really having anyone there. Once they get back onto the payload, they can stop this right here and there, Kenobi.
But you saw the value really that they got, that Triple Six Legend got out of taking that early fight. They milked a lot of time off that clock, and now only 10 seconds left. They just got it behind this bridge. DPS is going to go in with the Prowl Driver, but Ion is down. That's a huge pick.
Now Moihorse almost has a pulse bomb here. Certainly going to be looking for a tank to stick that on. Just throws it in the middle of the fight and whips completely here. And then Zelda letting that, I think, looking for the barrage, gets cut down immediately by Umbra. Overtime ticks away. TSL with the full team wipe there. Nanhai and Ion were the only ones alive, but they weren't on the payload.
You hate to see it. Yeah, hate to see it. He hits the barrage, and then the Diva just right behind him, back of the head. He's gone. And I mean, they did push it a little bit farther. I would like to see Zoo here take the same type of fight that TSL took. Take that early fight where their goal is to just take as much time off the clock as possible, because they took that early fight, and then really after 30 seconds, they know that they only have 1 fight left. They can recontest. Even so, even if you know, in a hypothetical world where Triple Six Legend loses that second fight, you still probably get 1 more contestation. So taking these early fights in these types of moments is something I'd really like to see Zoo do.
Yeah, but at this point, it might be a bit too late. You know, I don't know.
It's never too late, Rapture. It's never.
I guess that's true. Overwatch is one of those games where as long as you have overtime. I mean, you could still win. So, I mean, it is really not over for them technically, but I mean, what leverage can they really get? 666 is like almost running like this kind of comp that Zoo has seen time and time again, and Zoo still can't respond to it.
But Zoo here is actually, if 666 Legend stays with this composition, Zoo is going to be bringing out an anti-Ghost composition, actually. Oh, actually, no, he is going to be switching over to, they went back, oh, switching over to the Sombra. Okay, so they're going to try a more of a poke composition here. Not sure. I would have liked to have seen the Doofus, especially if 666 Legend is bringing out this 3-3 composition. Really go for that anti-Ghost.
Yep, I guess I'm anti-goats in the real world. I guess you have to poison their grass or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure how many natural predators goats have these days. Cloudy finds the kill onto Yagami. Night God going super, super low at 9 HP down to 0. Beep, boop. Cloudy finds the kill onto Night God. So Zoo, you know, stopping TSL for the time being. Now TSL, they have less than a minute now, and they're realizing that they're gonna go right back, not wasting any time.
And a lot of that was just based off of Cloudy's early pick onto Yagami there. Once it was a 5v6, very good presence of mind from Zoo to just get in and dive. And that's, you cannot die there as Cloudy. You cannot have Yagami get that revenge kill.
No, you really can't afford that. And once Cloudy goes down, I mean, that stops pretty much Zoo holding TSL off, because the Widowmaker was really that wall for TSL. But now TSL can just walk right in. They are literally doing just that, right through the front door, demeching non-high, getting the kill. The Brigade has nowhere to run. Moy Horse goes down as well. TSL just stomping on them. And Zenith of Optimism, it looks like they might be losing yet another 4 maps here at Kenobi, as this match is over and done with. Just 0.89 meters to go. And there it is. It's finally all they have written. TSL takes the set 4-0.
And you said it's feeding time.